Hello, Furnaces North America exhibitors. This is Tom Morrison. We're here live in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got myself as well as our chief technical partner who's put together this entire exhibit show for us on the virtual realm, Mr. Tom Schleisman. Tom, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Thanks
So
for having me.
You're welcome, Tom. So today is about wrapping up any last minute things that exhibitors have in terms of any questions. We've got a couple nice videos out there that share pretty much everything you need to know to set your booth up. But today is really about sharing the tools that you have to engage with the attendees out there in terms of chat, as well as video conferencing, and how to look up attendees and see them and what you'll see on your dashboard. So Tom, I'm going to turn it to you to share your screen, and you can go ahead and start begin. I'd do a brief run through of each of the elements of setting up the app, setting up their booth, just in case anybody has any last minute questions or needs that help, and then jump into the ways they can engage the customer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Here's the login page, and everybody should have a username and password that they got sent to them. But if they didn't get it for some reason, if they click trouble logging in, whoops, that's not what I want.
Forgot password.
If they click forgot password, you can send yourself the password via email and then go ahead and log in. So I'm going to log in, and the first thing I want to do is I want to show you what it's going to look from the user side. They're going to enter the attendee lobby, and then they're going to visit the exhibit hall. They're going to be able to view all the exhibitors, and they're also going to be able to search by all the different categories that you all have input, or they can search by company. So I'm just going to go in my booth here. And once they get into the booth, they'll be able to look at your company bio and your booth contacts. They'll be able to send you an email directly from the booth contacts. The contact me abouts, if they choose any of these contact me abouts, you will get a list of who it was and what they wanted to be contacted about. And then also they'll be able to view all your marketing documents. But probably one of the most important things in this is then they're going to be able to engage you in chat. They'll be able to see who's on, if you're online or not, and they'll be able to type you a message that you'll get. And I'm logged in as myself, so I'm going to get notifications, and you'll get a notification that somebody has sent you a message. You'll also be able to share a file by clicking here, find the file and share it. And then you'll also be able to engage in a video call. So now I want to go to the exhibitor dashboard. And I just want to talk about one thing specifically on the booth setup. In the booth setup, you're able to input your YouTube videos. And when you go to your YouTube video that you're going to insert, you're going to want to insert the embed link. You're not going to want to insert the web link. You're going to want to click on sharing and then embed, and then it'll give you an opportunity to copy that embed code. And then you're going to be able to paste that embed code right into here. And that way it'll show up on your screen just like that. So now I'm going to go back here. And so this is your exhibitor dashboard, and you're going to be able to see the visitors to your booth and also the leads, which are people that have engaged in your booth. If you click on visitors or leads, it's going to refresh that, and you're going to be able to see in real time who has visited your booth. Those reports are available here. You can export or save the list, and the follow-ups you can export here. But probably the most important thing about your participation is the chat. And down here is the chat window. So I'm going to open the chat window, and you can see up here that there is a virtualconference.com chat. Now you are in the chat window. Over here, you're going to see the FNA 2020. That will navigate you back to the exhibitor dashboard. So when you open the chat, all of your screens here on the left are going to be empty because you haven't engaged in anybody. I've done a lot of engaging so far. And so if I click on attendees, this is going to show me all attendees I've engaged with. This is going to tell me all the exhibit staff I've engaged with, the speakers, and then also the groups that I've created. So if you click on attendees and click on people, you're going to be able to scroll through and find anybody on the list that you want to engage in. And I really encourage you to do this. Search through the list, find people you know, find people you don't know. The more engagement you have, the more successful your participation is going to be. If you want to search somebody, you just click on search, and then you'll be able to click on them. And you see up here, you can see me, and now you can see this is who I'm going to be engaging with right up here, and that is Max. If I click on Max, I'm going to be able to see his profile. I'm going to be able to send him a chat. I'm going to be able to share a file. I'm going to be able to send him an emoji. And then I can also make a video recording and send that to him as well. If I want to call him, I just click on video call. He will answer the phone, and then you'll be in a live video call. For video conferencing, I'm going to click on video conference, and I'm going to add a new meeting. I'm going to put the meeting title. I'm going to click on the date, the start time. And when you do the start time in the time zone that you're in, and also the duration of the meeting in minutes. And then I'm going to be able to add users to my list. So I add users based on their category. You search them. And you add them to your meeting, and then you save your meeting. Now, when you search those people and you put them in a meeting, they're going to receive a chat that they're invited to that meeting. I find the meeting. And here's something that's pretty important too. Up on your web browser, you may be asked for permissions. And if you're having problems with a call, be sure to look up here in your web browser. It might have like a line through it, or it might be red depending on what browser you're using. And you're going to need to enable your webcam, and you're going to need to enable your microphone. So you do that, other people will join the meeting, and now you can see me. And as other people join the meeting, they can see it. And you can mute yourself, you can mute your video, you can share files, and then when you're done with the meeting, then you're just going to click.
Now, Tom, real quick, is that share files or share your screen?
You have the option to share different. You can share your entire screen, or you can share a browser, or you'll be able to pick what you want to share.
Okay.
And then when the call is over, you just end the call and go back to the chat. One more thing about chat, you're going to be able to add groups, and you kind of do that in the same way. You're just going to click on groups, and you're going to click plus, enter the title of the group, description of the group. You can put a picture in there, and then you can add members to your group just like you did in a conference call. Add them by attendees, and save it. But I really hope that you'll use the chat and engage with all the people that you know in the conference to make it successful. Be sure that you keep this window open during the event, and you'll receive notifications every time somebody sends you a chat. If you want to navigate back to the meeting, just come over here and click on that, and that's it.
So a couple different questions have come in, Tom. So it says, with request to talk, will it come to their email as well, or does it come directly to their, it just comes into their notifications?
It just comes in right, it'll show up right in there.
So that's
It'll
why you're
show
saying,
up, they'll get a chat message with a link to the meeting.
okay, so that's why you're saying it's important to click into the chat box. Anybody that's in the exhibit staff to click into the chat box and have that open at full time so they can get those notifications.
Yep, just keep it open at the top. And then if you have it closed, when you open it up, you will get the notifications, but it's better off to just leave that open and navigate back to the conference from your top taskbar.
Right.
That's the meeting. And then from there, I can go anywhere else that I want to go. And the other one, and this one takes you to the chat.
Correct. And Patrick had asked, in the video call, they'll be able to share their screen with the user, correct? So when they're in a, as you just showed, when they're in a video call, they'll be able to share their screen for a presentation if they'd like.
That's correct.
Okay. How do you chat with people? So Leslie was asking, how do you chat with people that you see in your booth? So I would assume you will see people when you're looking at your booth listing. Mm-hmm. You'll see in the list there, and you would recognize their name, and then you would jump over to the chat box, look their name up, and then you would chat with them.
Exactly. They'll show up here, and then you can chat, video call.
So
add to a group or video conference.
So go back to the booth listing, Tom, because I want to clarify something for everybody. So if someone stops, hits next or previous booth or lands on your booth, those people will all show in the visitors column, correct?
Anybody that's looking at your booth is going to show up in the visitors column.
Before they ever click on anything, correct?
Exactly.
Right. And so if someone clicks on a video or a technical document or any part of your booth, they then shift over to the leads column, correct?
They become leads, and if they become a lead, you will, if you export your list, you're going to get their contact information.
Right. So visitors, you'll get the basic information. The leads, you actually get the full contact information with emails.
That's correct.
So to answer Leslie's questions, you would, if they're just on top of your booth and not clicked on anything, you'll be able to see them and their names. So you can jump out and you can get in the chat and look them up by name and connect with them.
Exactly.
All right. Is this the same place I'll answer questions at? No. Casey was asking. There's a speakers chat box that you'll have a speaker. Any of you that are speakers, you will have a speakers. Tom, explain that the speaker element.
So the speaker. Let me see. I wasn't prepared to do that. Come here. So the speaker, it's actually a webinar, and let's see if it'll load for me. You're going to be able to see. This is from the speaker dashboard, and this is the speaker view. The speaker, when somebody goes into the session room, there'll be a link that they click on, and the speaker will then allow them into the session. The speaker can communicate them with audio and video. They'll also be able to chat and then also share files as well.
So to answer Casey, there is a separate speaker dashboard that you will go to go during your time when you're in your And then you can zip back over just by clicking the upper right. You can get back over to the exhibitor dashboard as well.
Right, and depending on your access, if you're a speaker, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log out and I'm going to log back in. If you're an exhibitor and a speaker, once you log in, this is what it's going to look like to you. You're going to be able to go to your IT or speaker dashboard, or your exhibitor dashboard, or the attendee lobby. If you're just an exhibitor, you're not going to see the speaker dashboard. You'll just see the exhibitor dashboard, and then you'll be able to just click right to there. So depending on the roles you have in the conference is what that will look like when you log in.
But you can easily get to any one of them by clicking up at your profile link at the top right.
Click up here.
Yep.
Any of those.
So Tom, Stephanie Harcar was asking, what's the benefit of scheduling a meeting versus having a video call? I would assume that if you have a group of people that decided you'd like to have a meeting with later in the day or at a specific time, that's when you would do a meeting. Otherwise, you can just do a video call one-on-one with somebody, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And somebody asked, is this training available on demand?
Correct.
It will be. I'm recording this right now, so we're going to send this out to all exhibit staff later today once we take it down from Zoom and get it recorded and up on our YouTube channel. So you will be able to rewatch this with your staff a number of times if you would like. So,
one more thing, preferred web browsers are Edge and Chrome. It will work with Safari and Firefox, but we recommend that you use Microsoft Edge or Chrome. And then also, if you're inside a VPN, you're going to have to either check with your administrator on what settings that you need for that VPN, or you're going to need to log out of your VPN in order to access the conference.
okay, so let's see here. So we answered the on-demand. Somebody asked how are technical attendees chatting with the authors. We just went through that. Dennis asked that. You'll have your speaker dashboard that you saw, Dennis, what we just gave an example of. Someone asked, there's no live look into who is in the booth currently. When an attendee is looking at a booth, they see who's in the booth, correct, Tom?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll see
be able to see who's online.
And then they can click any one of them to actually invite to a chat or a video call, correct?
Yeah. Let me go back there. They'll be able to see that I'm online. This guy's online. This guy's not online. And this guy's not online. So
basically attendees can click on whoever's in the booth and send them a chat or invite them to a video call.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. I think that answers those questions. So someone asked you, yeah, the answer to Bill's question, you can't just click on somebody from the booth and engage a lead. Basically you want to look at your visitors list and your leads list and catch their name and then jump into your video conferencing chat thing that Tom showed you right here.
Yep, jump into your chat.
And you can look them up and engage with them right there. You just got to be able to go from one place to the other.
Right, right. And I do really encourage you to look and see who's there. And there's going to be a lot of people that you know, and engage with them just like you would in a real conference. And it's unfortunate that we're not be able to be face-to-face this year. So the chat, I feel, is a really, really powerful tool. But just like anything else, you have to work it. You have to get in there and you have to find people that you know, engage with them. And that way, I think you're going to have a more successful conference.
And just so everybody knows, you're going to get a full listing of all attendees, regardless of who stopped by your booth and clicked on something and became a lead. You're going to get a full listing, hopefully same day, from FNA and MTI. So you'll be able to follow up with all leads, no matter who they are. And then Vic asked, there'll be 10 different people in their booth. And does every person need a separate login and password? They do, Vic. They should. Those were all sent out on Monday. And if you didn't get that, everybody needs to check their spam email first, because it's typically in there. And if not, you can go do what Tom just illustrated, which is go out to the login page and click forgot password, and you just put your email in and it'll send you your password. Let's see, Brian, I see that you say you don't have a speaker dashboard. We will check on that to make sure that we have you all set up correctly so the speaker dashboard jumps on your page. You can add staff all the way up until the day of the show.
We would prefer that you'd get it done by the end of the week.
Correct. Yeah, because there's a couple things that have to be done on our end. So if you want to just make sure they are in there before you log in on September 30th, try and get your staff added in by Friday, the end of Friday, if possible.
Yeah, if you add them on that day, there may be a lag before they get their event code and are able to log in. So if everybody had it done by Friday, that would be great.
So Tom, does the search and the attendees and the attendee list allow a company name, or is it just by
It's by last name, and but what you can see is, let me get back in there. For exhibit staff, you can see what company that they are with.
But not the attendee.
But not the attendees.
Okay, so yeah, you just got to look attendees up by the last name, but
Exactly.
You'll be able to see them in your, go back to the booth time, the booth dashboard. So when you're looking here at the booth dashboard, you will see the name of the person and the company. So as you're looking down the visitors and the leads going back and forth, you will see name, company name, and city. So you can actually look them up by last name if you see their company names attached.
Exactly.
Let's see. The booth personnel will have access to all visitors who are at the show, no matter if they're the main contact or not. So if they're registered for the show, you get access to everybody in the list. You cannot, someone asked, is there a way to see the exhibitors who are looking at their booth at the given moment? And you cannot see who's looking at the list at the given moment, but you can obviously go down and see, if you refresh, you can see new people that may have popped in and reach out to them. But you can't see who's actually looking at your booth in that moment. Can you contact any attendee even if they are not? Yes, you can contact any attendee even if they're not in your booth. That's why you go out to the virtual conference, the chat box, chat area, the second link, and that's every attendee that is registered for the show, no matter where they're at, and you can connect with them via chat, via email, via video, however you'd like. So somebody asked Tom, if someone engages in a chat, is there an audio notification audible on the that dings or anything?
It depends on the web browser. You're going to get a notification on the bottom right. Some of the browsers you get an audio notification and some you don't, but you will get a notification on the bottom right anytime you get a chat. And even if you don't have your chat open, once you open it, you'll get all those notifications.
All right, let's see.
But I recommend, again, let's keep the, I mean, this is kind of where I think that exhibitors need to be living, is in the chat, exploring who's in the event, who's there, and engaging from there.
Okay, someone asked, can you download chat transcripts? You cannot. What you would want to do, I would assume, Tom, is just have a Word document available and copy the chat and then cut it into a Word document and save it with that customer's name on it?
Yeah, we do not have that capability at this point.
Okay, so that's how you'd handle that, Allison. I'm gonna see. And Nathan asked if this is being recorded. Yes, it is. We're sending this out this afternoon. As soon as we get it up on our YouTube channel, you get it before day's end, probably within the hour. Can we continue to update our booth in real time during conference? The answer is yes. You can change anything and everything inside your booth if you'd like. Add new documents, change YouTube videos, change the panel. So yeah, you can adjust your booth on the fly. And Eric asked a very good question. Can attendees walk the show at any time? Here's the thing about the entire show. Sessions, and this is a good thing for exhibitors to know. Sessions and the exhibit hall are open 24/7 once we turn it on Wednesday morning. And so if you would like to go watch, so you're not wanting to watch sessions during exhibit time, you can go literally watch sessions 24/7, or people can exhibit and come to your booth 24/7 from September 30th all the way through October 2nd until we turn the show off. Now, here's the thing. We're probably going to keep the show open for 2 weeks after, because there's about 17, 18 hours of content and only about 6 to 7 hours to watch it unless people are watching it off show hours. So we're going to leave the show open for probably 2 weeks to give people a chance to watch all the content and continue to engage your booths. And hopefully they click the follow me and ask you for more information. So the show will actually be open virtually for probably through October 15th or 17th. We haven't decided the day yet. We want to give people ample enough time to watch all the content, all the sessions, as well as connect in with booths.
That's a good point, Tom. So it'd be a good idea for all the exhibitors that, a couple weeks after the show is to log in and see who's looked at their stuff.
So Tom, one exhibitor asked, I have leads in my booth now. Is that just example info?
Yes, and that'll all be cleared out before we go live.
Okay, great. And Romy asked a very good question. How many attendees are signed up to date? So here's the thing about a virtual show with attendees. Ours is going pretty well. We're right at about 400 attendees, which typical live show, we have about 900 actual non-exhibiting attendees. And most virtual shows, as we study them since March, if you get 50% of your live show, you're doing really well in almost every industry out there. So we're running right about 50%, and we expect. But here's the other thing that we know: 80% of all attendees sign up within the last 10 days, and 50% of those in the last 5. And we're still 8 days out, so we are pounding the pavement with. I mean, I've talked to people who said, "You got FNA 2020 coming at us from everywhere," and so we expect in the next 5 days to see a tremendous amount of new registrations coming through. We already had a bunch come in today. But show-wise, with exhibitors and attendees, we're about at the 800 range, and we typically around 1,700. So we're hitting that 50% barrier with still almost a week to go for registration. So we're very, very excited about the opportunities out there. And I've looked around through the exhibit list. We got Honda, American Axle, Boeing. I mean, we've got some pretty large, pretty nice customers that are out there that are coming into the show to see what's going on. So we're looking forward to having them in. So I think we have touched on everything. I'm waiting a few minutes to see if there's any more questions. I think we've hit every question that's come through the booth. But just to refresh a couple key points, everyone will need a password to get in. The easiest way to get your password, if you did not get it by Friday or Monday, is to go to Forgot Password on the login page and enter your email address and hit the link to put in your password, and you should be able to get in. This video is going to be sent to not just the main contacts of all the exhibitors, but we can download and send it to every one of your booth staff. That way, all of them have a chance to look at it on their own and kind of play with the system. So any questions you have, you can email us at fna@heattreat.net, and we'll take care of your questions. But hopefully the videos provide you a lot of informative information to help you easily maximize your experience with Furnaces North America. So Tom, do you have any parting thoughts or any questions?
I don't. Thanks everybody for listening.
Hold on a second, Tom. Audrey just asked a good question. How do you practice as an attendee if you are an exhibitor? So I assume that the exhibitor could have some people go into the attendee dashboard, and then they can communicate back and forth with each other and practice.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, you should be able to practice with everybody that's in your booth.
So they could actually go to the exhibit. They could actually go to the exhibitor, go into the chat and go in and look up a fellow exhibitor staff and just call them and practice the video, correct?
Should be able to, yes.
Okay. Just like you saw Tom did the example today with himself, you should be able to do that. But if you have any questions, email us.
And you can do all that from right here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just find who you want to chat with and then just chat with them.
All right, well, that sounds great. Well, it looks like we got every question answered. We covered everything we wanted to cover today. This video is going to be produced in about another 60 minutes and emailed out to everybody on our list. So thank you all today for coming and being a part of FNA. We look forward to seeing you online on September 30th and making this a dynamic show. Hope y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Tom.